you kind of get away with being like, girls and boys are very similar. There's almost no societal kind of impact on your relationship with anyone. By the time you get to 10 or 11, it becomes a little bit more separated. The boys probably get a little bit stronger, quicker, and then the girls probably mature a little bit more, and a combination of like the personalities and the physicality means you probably don't want to remain in the same team forever. Getting changed in the boys' changing rooms by the time you're 12 or 13, obviously both bodies are developing and you're just at a point where you don't want to be getting changed in front of boys. As a girl, like, you play in cricket whites, like by the time you're 12 or 13, you start thinking about your period, stuff like that. Again, like, it's just quite uncomfortable to be playing in a team, and where I'm playing in a team with girls and we're all going through the same thing, we're all talking about it, making each other feel comfortable. The boys don't do the same thing because it's quite an off topic when you're that young, and so it becomes, you just feel quite kind of isolated and you feel like you're the only one in the team.
When I first started, I think I was kind of just filling in when somebody didn't turn up or whatever. That's kind of how I started. And yeah, there was nobody else. And then luckily, in my first few years, there was a few girls that joined. So growing up, there was maybe 2 or 3 of us in the boys' team. There wasn't a huge amount of girls playing in general many sports, so it was kind of normal to me, I guess. Like from a very young age, I was just in with the boys and didn't really think too much of it. It wasn't probably until later on that I realised that it probably wasn't the norm. So to be honest, the teams that I had, like the boys and men's teams that I had played in, I was very lucky that they were very supportive. I'd say it's maybe against the other teams that you played against that wouldn't expect to turn up and play against a girl that maybe felt a little bit more uncomfortable.
Age 11 to age 16, I think the worst thing a teenager can feel is different or out of place. You just feel horrible, like you just feel like you want to fit in, but if you try and fit in, you don't feel like yourself. That feeling at that age is just a horrible feeling, and you know, I don't wish to feel that again, but I would like to try again and see what now I'd feel like if I was doing that, because that's like a hotspot time for feeling terrible, and then having to play with the boys, having to do things that are uncomfortable. If you're trying to do things that are challenging, like play at a higher level or play often, like if you're trying to do things that are hard and you feel uncomfortable, like it's not easy.